So I was in a search of a place where I could buy a house, get a car, save some money for retirement, pay for my kids' education, take them vacation. I thought if I could afford all of that, I would consider myself a middle class.
Canada has always done well when we have a strong and successful middle class.
I was raised on middle class values, and I'll work to strengthen the middle class.
The tax-free savings accounts have been great things for the Canadians, for the Canadian middle.
And Canada seems to be the right place to be. So in 2018, I moved here. I thought I would finish my school, save some money. A $50,000 a year income would qualify me for at least $250,000. Would get a 1-bed, 1-bath apartment in a decent sized city. A perfect middle class. But things have changed since then.
China has identified the cause of the mysterious new virus.
Coronavirus. He joins a growing cohort of young people who feel priced out of a market that's become even hotter during the pandemic. A report this month from the National Bank of Canada says the average down payment for a home in Toronto would take nearly a quarter century for a household making $180,000 a year to save, and more than 30 years for a place in Vancouver.
If we can all agree, being part of the middle class is able to afford a home because of the real estate, which happens to be the biggest wealth creator in the middle class. But that dream of buying a house in the current situation seems really unrealistic. So what does middle class mean in 2024?
Especially among young people struggling with the rising cost of living, kissing their dream of owning a house goodbye.
Buying a home in this current situation is not really for middle class, it's for upper middle class. The median home prices by the end of Q3 of 2023 is $750,000. If you walk into the bank today, they will likely to give you an interest rate of somewhere around 5.3 to 5.7. Now the old home buying rule book says you should put down at least 20% down to avoid the extra insurance costs. Let's be honest, nobody has that much amount of money saved up somewhere. So what people do, they put down the minimum amount possible. So in Canada, you need to put down 5% for the first $500,000 and for the next 10%. So if we take an average price in Canada right now is $700,000, just for an example, you're looking at a minimum down payment of $40,000. And somehow you're able to save that much amount of money, and then you think you'll be able to afford a house? Not right now. So after putting down $40,000 towards the down payment for your house, you're looking at almost $660,000 to borrow from the bank. With the average interest rate of 5.3%, you're looking at a monthly payment of around $3,000. Now that might be doable for some middle class, but here's the kicker. But the bank want that payment to be no more than 28% of your monthly income. Translate that and you're looking at least $140,000 a year income. So buying your average house nowadays is really difficult. That's why a lot of people say that middle class is shrinking. We haven't even talked about the day-to-day expenses yet, like rent, your car payment, your phone bills, your car insurance, your groceries. That adds up a lot. So saving that $40,000 for the down payment for your house is gonna take years. But hey, let's circle back to the middle class. Our perception is all tied up into our values, right? Everyone got different priorities. Not everyone is aiming to buy a house, even if they can swing it. Being middle class boils down to how our values are stacked up against others in the same boat, same place at the same time. And let's be real, it is a struggle. If you're making $55,000 to $74,000 a year and choose to rent, that is a pretty solid middle class setup too. But hey, not everyone is on the same page.